and welcome to the Lizzie Show. Today's video, I want to focus on this one topic. Basically, my observation of myself, because I'm not going to project to anyone, I'm just going to say, through the lens of my own experience, you as a human being are different every single day. When I say you're different, I understand that maybe your character is the same, perhaps your personality might be a little bit the same, but truly, you're not the same energy level every single day. And the point of this is to tell you it is okay, and not to feel like you have to be on the defense if you, being a responsible person who does the job, gets it done, and is not always performing at the same time, you don't have to perform. You don't have to be a performer. You don't have to be overly smiley and overly nice, because nice isn't always necessary. Yes, you have to be professional, you have to do your job, but a lot of times I receive the comment that I'm very professional on the days when I'm tired, because when I'm tired, I'm less inclined to make jokes, I'm less inclined to be a little goofy. I have my days just like you have your days. And it is so natural and so human to have your days. Because if you're going 5 days a week, that is, no one ever talks about it. It really is a lot. 5 days is a lot of days to keep going to work. And I know there's people who do more than 5 days. That really blows my mind, because to be an organic creature like you and me, we're just in these bodies that since the day we've been born, they're going. And not only are they going organically, consistently, we're constantly on. There's always something for us to do. We have our job. We have to get up and get ready for our job. We have to maintain our job. We have to do our job the right way. We have to be dependable, reliable, efficient, and still maintain a level of independence and professionalism, even when you or I, organically, through no fault of your own, feel tired, feel exhausted, that fight or flight. A lot of people, because I talk to a lot of people, do suffer when they're middle-aged from anxiety. I think a lot of people, when they suffer from anxiety out of nowhere, it's not out of nowhere. It's the build up of the repetitiveness and the responsibility of our lives. And truly, really, you and I are the celebrities. I get it. I watch Jennifer Lopez and Shakira while I'm walking on the treadmill, and I said, Liz, wouldn't it have been great to be born like with all that talent and with that body and with that voice and with that vigor to perform? I mean, I'm looking at them and I'm saying, that's what I want to do. I want to be Shakira. I want to be Jennifer Lopez, right? Why wasn't I born with those talents and the luck of the draw? Because even then, how many dancers and singers are there? But then you have these people that we look up to and we think, wow, they're living the best life. But realistically, you could be born any person in any situation with or without talents, and still they call us regular. But I don't think we're regular, because Jennifer Lopez and Shakira wouldn't enjoy this regular life. It would be, if you told them, I'll give you $1 million to do your regular job a year, they'd laugh in your face. They want $12 million a year just to be a host on America's Got Talent. So, I mean, you really have, and the point of me saying this is that while I'm watching them, I said it's all random, right? I took the initiative, and I still do every day, just like you. Maybe you did, maybe you're still working, maybe you're going to be working, maybe you can't find work. But wherever you lie on the spectrum in this life, and if you do work 5 days a week, or even 3/12s, it's very, here, I'm saying this to you to validate your feelings if you feel this way. It's very exhausting to be human. Why? Because you have to maintain, and our energy levels are constantly dipping. You got to maintain your mind, your body, your job, your relationships at home. Maybe you cook for your husband, your wife, your children. You have animals to take care of. You have to pay bills. You have to go food shopping because you're always running out of something. It's like the never-ending story of things to do. So it's not just your work, which takes up more than a third of your life. I feel like it takes up 75% of your life. It's okay to feel exhausted and realize that realistically, this is the system that's been set up for us, but it's a very exhausting system. And that's why motivational speakers make so much money, the ones that are successful, because most of us are always looking constantly to be motivated, inspired, and motivated, inspired. But realistically, it's motivation just to get through the day. Motivation to not fight or flight, to stay, because you have to stay, right? We are responsible, we are reliable, we are obedient workers. Gotta pay the taxes, gotta make sure the federal government gets what they need from us. And we have to make sure we have money for our food and for our animals' food. And whether you pay rent or more, we don't live in tents, ladies and gentlemen. Do you really want to live in a tent? Do you? I don't. Right now it's like 90 degrees out. You think I'm living in a tent? No, I love air conditioning. God bless the people and our ancestors that for thousands of years lived without it. This is good. It's called Evolve. It's pretty good. This morning when I was driving to work, I had my headphones on. I was listening to the music I listened to when I was in my 20s. When I was growing up in Florida, well, actually, excuse me, not growing up. I grew up in New York. When I was living with my mom in a trailer in an old car with no air conditioning in South Florida, I listened to Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, System of a Down, Crossfade, like all that music. Now they call it emo music, and I was like, what the heck is emo? Oh, it means emotional. We're like slicing things down until there's no longer a word for it. So that emotional music, and I said, you know what? As I'm driving to work, and I have my headphones on, and I'm screaming, and I felt so good. And it wasn't motivation, it wasn't anyone talking positive. It was literally like I needed to have my headphones on, and I needed to just yell and scream to the music with the headphones in this car. And it's an old car. It doesn't even have a CD player. And then, I have this really old car, and yesterday when I was driving home, I felt a huge sense of anger towards the car because it's older than the car that I got when I was out of school. But that car got into an accident, and it would have cost more money to repair the style of it, like the structure of it, than to buy this older car. And it's annoying because I went to get it fixed, and it shakes, and it annoys me. And I'm like, should I just, I understand it's good to save your money. But I said to myself, maybe this car is making me so angry. Maybe I should spend the money and just buy myself a car for $10,000 or $13,000. Something that doesn't make me angry. Because the car makes me angry. And is that ridiculous? Because really, an inanimate object like a car shouldn't. So the car made me angry, but then I don't want to buy a new car because I'd rather just wait till this thing fully makes me have a nervous breakdown. But this morning when I was driving to work, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave extra early because I have to drive slow, because if you go over a certain amount, it starts like shaking a little bit. It's so annoying. And yesterday I was in the car and I was screaming. I was like, this freaking car. Because I'm too lazy. You gotta go buy a car, then you gotta pay when you go get the titles, you gotta pay for that, then insurance goes up. It's like I feel trapped by everything costing something, because realistically, I use the car to go to work. If I didn't have a job, everything is in walking distance. Everything is a push cart away. So it's the constant trap. It's a trap, and I don't like it. I don't like feeling trapped. So the point of this video is, look, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I think perfection is psychotic. I think perfection is, I don't know, who's perfect? You tell me who's perfect. The deity is perfect. Mother Earth is perfect. The universe is perfect. My body keeping alive is doing the best it can. It's perfect. But emotionally, like my personality isn't perfect. It's like the stock market. You never know what you're gonna get. Every day it's different. You gotta check the Dow Jones. Is it the Dow Jones or the Joe Jones? I don't know. Something with the Jones. Keeping up with the Joneses. That's true too. So I have this one neighbor. She has this really nice car, and you always see her like she has her car and beep beep, and she stops it, and then she has her shoes on, she has her bag, and she always like turns around and like check on the car and like, I don't know, wipe off a cat hair on it. I don't know, but she's very in love with the car. And I'm like, you know what? If I had a new car, I guess I'd be like that too. And then there was a moment in my head that talk about keeping up with the Joneses. I'm like, oh, I could get something nicer, and then she'll have to keep up with me. But I'm like, who the hell cares? I don't care. You don't want a really nice car, because then people are going to think you have nice things in your house, and they're going to want to rob you. So as long as I have an old beater in front of my house, nobody's going to rob me, because they're going to think I don't have anything. And really, I don't have anything. I have a TV. I mean, take it. I don't care. It'll give me one less addiction, right? Right. I need more books. I need to read more. Maybe I should write my own book. My book would say, just be yourself. It's always refreshing when people are themselves. Like, don't put on a mask. Just say it. Say how you feel. You don't have to be fake. Who wants fake? If you're not in the mood today, that's more refreshing than if every day you're like, I'm so happy. No. Don't you get tired? Aren't you human? Don't you have your days where you're not in the mood? No? Really? Be gone. I need real people with real emotions. I'm not skippity-doo-dah every day. But what's really interesting is Monday. I don't know. I was having this thought too. So on Monday of all days, this Monday that just passed, I was in the best mood I ever was on a Monday. I was like, is this the best day I've ever had for work on a Monday? Ever since then, it's been like, It's like, who made me feel so good? Is it my cells? Is it my brain? Are there little gnomes around me that I can't see that are messing with me? Like, why is it I was in such a good mood? And then like, maybe it's because, like I said, it's hard. 5 days straight. Every day you got to wake up early. Every day I'm trying to work out. And there's not enough time to repair, to renew, to sleep in. I mean, they tease you. They give you 2 days off. And then you're back at it for 5. 5 for 2. 5 for 2. 5 for 2. And then you work in the medical field. And you see how short life is and how fragile our bodies are. And you're like, what am I doing? This is sad. Should I live in a tent and live free? Oh, but then, let's live off grid. Okay, living off grid. That's not cheap either. You need a well. You gotta find a place to go to the bathroom. You need to find a place to put your off-grid housing. You need solar panels. Nothing is free. You gotta work for everything. If it was up to me, I'd have a horse, I'd have a cow, I'd have a little farm, and I would tend to them because it would be fulfilling. Maybe I would do this 1 or 2 days a week, and I don't even know. Do any of us even know? Like, if I said to you, if you had $10 million, how would you live? You don't even know until you have the $10 million. Maybe I'd miss work. I don't know. All I know is that it's Wednesday. I've already done 7 studies. I have 1 more to go, and I can't wait to go home. I don't know if I'll have energy to work out. Maybe. But then it's like, I'm like an old rag, like just, like the older people, like old school, that they're probably already passed away. You'd go to their house in the sink and they'd have an old rag that they would use to clean the dishes. And it was like, it used to be white, but now it's gray. And it even has like fingers on the end and holes in it. That's how I feel today. See, I'm showing up even on the days when maybe some people would say I shouldn't show up. But the point is, I'm going to be a true motivational speaker by telling you that to be perfect is not normal. Be yourself. Express yourself. No one's going to fire you for being who you are, because one thing that nobody ever talks about, and I'm going to talk about it today, is this: personality prejudice. Everyone's always talking about prejudice. No, personality prejudice. Because you're either too loud or too quiet. You're too loud. Be more quiet. You're too quiet. Talk up. Nobody hears you. No one's ever happy. So then instead of worrying about if anyone's happy, make yourself happy and just be yourself. Because here's the ironic thing. If you're good at your job, you can be yourself. I'm so good at what I do, I'm not worried. I'm fast, I'm speedy, I'm efficient. Today I might not be in the best of moods, but the job is done. Well done. Even though I wish I could buy a horse. But horses are expensive. Yep. I looked it up online. $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 for a horse. Then I saw one horse was like $1,500. I'm like, what's his story? Poor thing, only $1,500. I mean, then I gotta find a place to put the horse. Then you gotta take care of the horse. Then the worst part is if anything happens to the horse, I'll be devastated. Right? So life is not easy because you're born, and then from when you're born, there's all this space in between. And once you become a full-on adult, and you've been doing the adulting thing for quite some time, you start to get a little bored. You start to get a little burnt out. And you start to get a little bit antsy. Like, what am I doing? What's the point? The point is, you're not starving. The point is, you have everything you need. But you still might not be in the mood. So there you go. You don't have to feel bad about complaining. I think it's good to complain. You got to let it out. Because if you don't, you suppress. And if you suppress how you feel, then it comes out in negative ways. So my whole thing is talk, 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 vent, 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 let it out. This way you don't develop any addictions, right? Because I could see people go, you know what, I'm just going to drink my sorrows away. I'm going to go home and have a drink. No, I'm not going to go home and have a drink, but I am going to complain. And I'm going to say, enough already. Like, I'm done, but I still have 2 more days left. 2 more days. And then I got 2 days off and then 5 more days again. I feel like I'm on the never-ending story of go to work. And it's getting on my nerves. But what's the solution? We're the celebrities. There is no solution. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. Because we like the comfort of going home. But everybody likes the comfort of getting a paycheck from the beginning of time. From the beginning of work, I guess. I don't even know what to call this video. We'll call it, I don't know. It's normal to not be in the mood. It's normal to not feel like when someone says, hi, how are you? To be like, fantastic. Just tell them, today I'm not in the mood, but I'm still here doing a great job. I wasn't going to do a video, because I was too tired. So what I did on my lunch is I actually put my headphones on and I listened to 20 minutes of meditation. And I even dabbled in a little bit of a REM sleep where I was falling asleep a little bit. And I set the timer on my phone so I could clock back in from my lunch break. Lunch break is really a sleep break. You need to take a nap. And I think if they really cared about us, they'd have a room where we could stretch and do yoga, a room where there's a punching bag, a room where I could play Nintendo, a room where I could play Pac-Man and not be so bored, a room where I'm not stuck in these same walls doing the same thing on my lunch break too. It's like solitary confinement, but with people. Solitary confinement, you can have that even when you're surrounded by the same people every day. That's mean. I like seeing the same people every single day. The real me. The real me is many different me's, I could be really happy, I could be really funny, and then I could be really serious, really professional. When this patient told me how professional I was like, it's because I'm tired. And this video has been sponsored by Folgers. You're tired, you're thinking about going back to bed? Folgers. I'm just kidding. This is the lady I work with brought this. I don't do Folgers. I do very high class coffee. very like 1775 or rifle. That's right, I dabble in both. 1775 and rifle. Rifle, 1775. And then I froth. I'll froth, you know, the collagen to keep this skin glowing. Then I'll put a little bit of a Chobani creamer, froth it, drink it, and then I get my responsible self to work with my car that shakes. But you know what? It's in God's plan. But because it shakes, I don't hit the deer. And there you go. There's a reason for everything. And the truth is, who am I feeling sorry for? If I wanted to, I could go buy myself another car. I'm just too cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. All right, I think that's good. We're at 20 minutes. 20 minutes just talking. I mean, that's talent, right? That's talent. I don't even have to. By the way, the videos I did yesterday, the last one was cringe. Now, I could delete it, but what the hell? I don't care. I could be cringe. Binge the cringe. Maybe it'll make someone feel better about themselves. That's what we're here to do. Make each other feel better. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. And we're here to evolve. We're here to evolve. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.